Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this BizSmart webinar as we launch into the Customer Service Week. Customer Service Week is next week, but we've decided to launch into it this week with a lot of excitement and a lot of pizzazz and razzmatazz, and we are just so excited to be here and to talk about customer experience excellence. Please tell us on the chat where you're from. I can see lots of people checking in, telling us where they're from. Don't get left behind. Please tell us where you're logging in from, which part of this world, which part of this country, which part of this nation, city, region, where are you from for a minute or two? Please type in the chat and let us know exactly where you're from. Would love to welcome you. All right, let's see where people are from. We can see people from Umoja Flour Mills, Pratix, welcome. Elsie, welcome from Smart Applications. Pauline, we see you. Waithera from ArtSign, welcome. Nairobi. Susan from Botswana, all the way, feel at home. Karibu sana, as we say over here. Monte Kajama, we see you. Nikoza Africa, our former speaker. Karen from Machakos City. Pauline from Allen Cole in Westlands. Kathy, Interswitch. Joyce from Family Bank. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Where are other people from? We want to welcome you with a lot of warmth and a lot of excitement. We are really looking forward to this topic, and we are looking forward to discussing customer experience excellence. Susie Gray from SBM, welcome. Feel at home this afternoon. So my name is Carol Gadhuru. I'll be your host today. And as we talk about customer experience excellence and customer service week and the power of service and customer inclusion, we are looking forward to a very robust and a very exciting discussion. So why customer experience excellence, and why this topic, and why are we talking about customers, and why? As Simon Sinek tells us, start with why. So what's the why of this whole gathering this afternoon? The why is because Customer Service Week starts next week. And many people ask, why? Why do people focus on customers so much only during 1 week? Why is there so much excitement, so much focus, so much, surrounding the customer only in 1 week? Why not all year round? And what we love to respond from the Customer Experience Excellence Fraternity is, it's the same way we have your birthday. So your family loves you all year, from January to December. They love you, you're special, you are one of them, you're part of the family, they do great things for you all around. But when it's your birthday, it's amplified, it's special. They go over and beyond and try to make you feel special and like you belong. So that's what happens during Customer Service Week, that this is the week where we amplify the voice of the customer, we amplify focus on the customer, we focus and we concentrate on the customer this 1 week. It's not that we don't love them the whole time, we do. However, this week is a week like the customer's wedding anniversary. You know, when it's your wedding anniversary week, or it's a special day, you have a graduation or something is happening to you, and then your whole family focuses on you, your friends and your social circles. That's what's happening during Customer Service Week. So that's why we are really looking forward to next week, and starting next week, this week, as we talk about the customer. So therefore, there are two themes. There's one local theme on customer inclusion that is being run by the Institute of Customer Experience, and then there's the global theme on the power of service. Both of these are very important themes. One is on including the customer in everything we do, customer inclusion, making sure that customers are at the center and at the heart, and that we are partnering with them and that they know and understand what we are doing, how we are doing it, why we are doing it, and how we are doing it together. Because the customer is a partner. The customer is who we are working with and working with and ensuring we serve well. So customer inclusion has been a lovely theme that has been running throughout the year. And then as well, the power of service. That's the International Customer Service Week theme, the power of service. How powerful is service? In business, we always say the customer is the driver of business. It's true. It's very, very true. In fact, now more than ever is when we see how important it is to have the customer at the center of business. Because COVID in the past 2 years has shown us that we can lose customers so easily. Customers can fail to be our customers. Customers can want to be our customers and not be able to patronize or take from us or buy from us or partake of our services. So customers really are at the center of our business, and we need to focus on them. So the power of service is what keeps customers going. So I want us very quickly in the chat to type and tell us one thing that these 2 years of COVID has taught us about the importance of customer experience excellence. Please type for me in the chat one thing you have learned in these past 2 years about the power of customer service. Please type for me in the chat. Let's see what we have. What do we have there? What has this 1 year taught us about? Not 1 year, actually it's 2 years. It's unbelievable. It's 2 years and we are still here. What have we learned about the customer, about customer experience excellence and the need for customer service? Yes, please talk to us. Or if you want to unmute and say that's not good enough, I am waiting for the chats. Grace says, great customer service builds a loyal customer base. And that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Great customer service leads to customer loyalty. And for sure, that is important. And the same thing Elsie is saying right there. Both Grace and Elsie, you're in the right frame of mind. Customer loyalty is at the heart. We are talking about dynamism. That's what Pauline is saying, that these 2 years taught you to be dynamic, able to adapt to change, because that's what dynamism means. Customer experience can help you survive a pandemic. That's what Lynette is saying. Survive a pandemic. And for sure, survival has been at the key of us trying to get things going. If we ride on customer experience excellence, indeed we can, and we will, and we continue to survive. One or two more. Another Grace says customer needs are fluid, and one needs to be upbeat with the changes to survive. That is true. How more than ever have we seen now how customer needs are always changing. Customer needs are flexing from one side to the other side. And with COVID, for sure, these needs are, the customers don't even know their own needs, because today it's this, tomorrow it's that. And if we take the region, for example, today we are in this season, tomorrow the government has said this, or it has said that. This is closed, that is open. This is now working, that's not working. This regulation is in place, then it is not in place. And so we need to be very fluid and adaptable to change. Because as we are told often, Charles Darwin says, it's not the fastest or the swiftest of species that will survive, but the species that's most adaptable to change. And so that's the fluidity being talked about there by Grace Saran. We appreciate that. Mina says companies have to be creative in making customer experience the best. Creativity, innovation, thinking out of the box. Most times you're told even to throw away the box. You don't not just think outside of the box, just take the entire box and dump it. Because when you're boxed in, then you're not able to think. So even the whole box analogy, no more boxes. So we need to be creative and we need to be able to adapt to change. Just talks about resilience. For sure, the theme on resilience and sustainability is key. We must be resilient, we must be sustainable, we must be able to see that 100 years from now we can survive. Lots of the risk management strategies that we put in place at the beginning of, say, 2019 or 2018, we never did imagine that a pandemic would come and would grab us in this way. So had we thought about a risk such as this, had we thought the world is going to stop, had we thought, we hadn't, most of us. So as we have shared and as we continue to share and as we think about why we must talk about customer experience excellence, there are also very many myths around the customer, and we need to debunk these myths and we need to shed off these myths so that even as we wait to listen to customer experience excellence, customer inclusion, and the power of service, which is our topic for today, that we debunk some of these myths so that as we move forwards, we don't walk with them. So there are two big myths around customer experience excellence and the customer, and I will share the two myths. Myth number one is that the customer is king. People say that all the time. Please tell me, why is the customer not king? Because the customer is not king. People say that all the time. The customer is king, but the customer is not king. Why is the customer not king? Over to you. Let me hear one or two voices. I can see very many people that I know on this page. Put up your hand and tell me why the customer is not king. Or I will volunteer you. You can put it on the chat, or you can put up your hand, or you can unmute yourself and tell us, why is the customer not king? Actually, I think if you get the answer to this question, you will walk away with a wonderful gift from Springboard Capital. So Pratik says because of lack of money, or Christine says policies and procedures have to be adhered to in some instances. We have 74 people on this page, 74 customer lovers, customer advocates, people who are customer enthusiasts. Where is the answer? Yes, Joyce. The customer service provider relationship should be mutually beneficial. Mutually beneficial. That's a word right there. Mutually beneficial. Christine is clarifying to say prudential guidelines, for example. There are gifts, hence they can move. There are gifts, the customer is a gift. Okay, maybe. I'm just waiting for this answer and then we shall move into the main agenda for today. Monica says they are human and prone to error. They are not royalty. Yeah, that's what we are saying. The customer is not king, indeed. Your service offering is what is king. Tony says because customer experience is a partnership and a relationship. The internal staff are because they handle the customer, yes, internal staff. The king is made. The service providers are not making king. What? All right. Let me go back to the person who is slightly, not quite there, but almost there. Customer key is king philosophy. The customer is not always right. That's true. That's another myth there. We'll debunk that one another day. The customer is not always right and is not necessarily agenda, because you will never exceed their expectations. You will never exceed their expectations. Okay, good people. I have seen your answers. We have reflected upon them. It's a give and take. That's what Tony is saying. The customer is your friend and your partner. Let us zero in. Shall we zero in on one answer that is very close to the real answer? So we have said that the customer is not king. And we have said that we are debunking that and we are canceling it. And today on the 1st of October, Happy New Month to you all. I needed to just throw that in there. So today we are saying that the customer is not king. Why is the customer not king? The customer is not king because, just like Tony Manogo has said right here, because customer experience is a partnership and a relationship. Let us follow that for a minute. What relationship do you have with your customer? Is it a king subservient relationship? Is it an authoritarian and servant master relationship? Because that is what kings and royalty command. So if your customer is king, it means that the relationship you have with this person is a relationship where you are bending over, where you are prostrating yourself on the floor. When they walk into the room, you make way. That has changed. We are no longer treating customers like that. We treat customers as partners. Our customers are partners and our customers are our friends, because you listen to your friend. You partner with your friend. When your friend is in trouble, you're there. When your friend is celebrating, you're there. When your friend is in need, you're there. When your friend has an overflow, you are there. When your friend is in distress, you are there. When your friend wants you to listen, you're there. When your friend has big dreams, you are there. This is the relationship we have with our customers. So yes, we give them royal service. And yes, we understand them and we want them to feel very special and exceed their expectations, anticipate, meet, and exceed. However, we are removing the king part and we are reintroducing the friend part. And with that all said, because we have talked a lot, and I know we have really talked a lot, it's just the excitement about Customer Service Week. Chantel is in the house and she says, hi, my Kenyan friends. And so Chantel, you are so welcome to this meeting. Your Kenyan friends are here. Let me inform you that friends from all over Africa. We are not just Kenyans in the house. So we are all sorts of Africans in the house, although we have a majority of Kenyans. Welcome. Let me hand over the meeting to you. Chantel is the managing director at BrandLab. Chantel is passionate about three things: about purpose, helping us to find our purpose, helping us to live our purpose, helping us to deliver on the purpose for which we have been created. And she does this through lots and lots of interventions: employee experience interventions, customer experience interventions, creative thinking interventions, team activity interventions, all manner of interventions. She's very passionate about purpose. She's also very passionate about people. Chantel does love people. If I've met somebody who has a deep love for people, it is her. I can talk all day and all night about Chantel. Read a lot about BrandLab online as well and in the bio that we shared. Let me call upon you, Chantel. Please talk to your people. Karibu sana, Chantel.
Karibu sana, Caroline. I am so embarrassed, colleagues. So let me just first come clean. I am never late. I'm always early. I said to people, even to my own funeral one day, I'm going to be slightly early. So I am so sorry. I have no idea how we got this time wrong. My day was beautifully planned, you know, as the days usually are. And I was en route. I was checking into a hotel with super fast internet and I got the call. So I want to just say to the Springboard Capital team, I'm really sorry. I probably have all of your nerves like completely shot, but I am here and I am sitting in my car. It's raining outside. I'm in a beautiful part of the Cape Province and I am fully present and I'm just so loving being here with you. So let's jam for the rest of the time that we have available. We're going to have some fun, colleagues, and I want you to go away from this session feeling empowered, feeling like a little bit inspired, and maybe a little bit of my craziness about the customer. I want that to rub off on you. And I want you to, on Monday, when you get to your offices, when you get to your places of work, I want you to just rock up with a little bit more inspiration and a smile and just a new invigorated love affair for your customer. How does that sound? All right. Excellent. Excellent. Colleagues, I'm going to ask you to help me generate some energy here. So give me some hand signs. You know, I'm going to ask you to participate in a few questions that I've got for you. So on the screen, you will see that there is a link that I want you to go to. It's www.bcast.live and it's going to ask you for a session code and I'm going to whack that in the chat as well. Let's see how well I can drive like an interactive presentation from the back of my car. I might sell that as an added benefit to facilitate from the back of the car. Okay, so I want you to go to this Bcast link and I'm going to take you through just a few. I want you to just do a few thought processes as we start this presentation. And Caroline, I will be respectful to people's time. I believe we have half an hour left for the webinar. Unless people have questions, I will stick around for as long as what my battery will last. Give me a thumbs up if I'm still live because I am in an area that's horrendous for network latency. All right, fantastic. Anastasia, I really appreciate that. All right, folks, so we are going to go to our first question. This is a little bit of a fun one. Okay, so I can't see many of your faces. I can't see. You should be able to just send me a selfie. Send us a selfie of your most confident look. All right, so if you go to the activity that's live, quickly take a selfie. I want you to look super confident. And once you've done that, submit that selfie onto this platform. And we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful set of pictures of all of you, everyone in the room. All 72 of you. Oh, my word. 72 people. How awesome is that? Oh, look at Pratiz. Pratiz, thank you for switching on your camera. All right, colleagues, are you getting onto Bcast? You getting onto Bcast? Okay, so go to Bcast Live. Put in that code and send me a selfie. Oh, I see Grace. Hi, Grace. My darling Grace. Look at that. Oh, it's so nice to see my friends again.
Hi, Chantel. Nice to see you.
Let's go to our next question. What your biggest challenges are today in your business? All right, so grab your phone or a browser and go to the code. I've just put it in the chat. So Bcast Live, and you're going to put in that code J5RE. Everybody got the instruction? Yeah, you see a bit of French when you land there. Susan, just keep on going. Just keep on going and it's going to give you the question in English. Okay, so I'm seeing some challenges there. I'm seeing some challenges acquiring new customers. Yeah, the marketplace has just become really, really competitive, really hard to deal with. If you're an entrepreneur, I want to celebrate you today. I want to say to you, you've chosen a path that is really complicated in this current economy. So managing customer needs versus company policies. Yeah, maintaining customer loyalty, angry customers. You know what's happened with customers. I think all of us are just emotionally heightened. I think all of us have a little bit more exaggerated emotions, and that's why you might be seeing more anger. Thank you very much for that lovely picture. Unstable economy. Yeah, for years people have said winter is coming, and now winter is here. Staff loyalty, yeah, absolutely. Motivating the internal customers, fantastic. Thanks for that amazing contribution. Aligning customer expectations with the business offerings, yeah. So I would say a whole lot of face the risk of their products becoming irrelevant or the products becoming unappealing to customers. Even the prices are hugely under pressure. We've got the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, keeping people's morale up. A whole lot of people are still very shocked. People say to me, when can we go back to normal? And I go, I'm not sure that it works like that. I think some things have changed forever. And it's about how well do we adapt? How well do we reinvent? Oh, just look at these amazing pictures. Meeting customer needs with limited resources. Yeah, I see your challenges. All right, so let's go to the next question. Two more questions for you. So how do you personally feel about the future? How do you feel about the future? And I really want to say, let's not judge the emotions. Let's just show up and say, this is how we feel about the future, because I think part of this session is for me to understand where you're at so that I can give you the right things and that I can have a bit of I can share my outlook with you and I can share why I think we need to be hopeful. But how do you feel about the future? Fantastic. Optimistic. I'm seeing optimistic. I'm seeing promising. Yeah, I'm seeing more optimistic. It's uncertain. Yeah, let's just be honest with each other. It's very uncertain. It's become more uncertain. Yeah. Promising and challenging. Dynamic. Yeah, it's unclear what's going to happen next. Yeah, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of transformation. Very unpredictable. So the more people that have responded these words, the bigger they get. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of optimism, a lot of promising, hopeful. It's disruptive. Do you know, for years and years, I've gone to conferences and people have said, you need to disrupt, disruption is coming, and boom, disruption. Within 3 weeks, people had to really change their customer experience to not be face-to-face. That's massive disruption. And it's not necessarily the kind of innovative disruption that we invite into our lives, right? All right. So that is what's in the room. Some uncertainty, but people are optimistic. There's a bright, promising future ahead. All right. Now, this is one of those movie moments where I give you a magic wand. Okay, I'm going to give you a magic wand and I'm going to ask you, what would you change in your business today if you had a magic wand? This magic wand, you just go like in the fairy movies, you go ba-boom and you can do anything. So if you had the power to do anything, you haven't got budget restrictions, you've got no compliance restrictions, you've got, oh, Caroline's smiling at me a little bit going, Chantal. So you had that magic wand that the fairies and the fairy godmother appears and she says, bubbity boobity boo. What would you do with that magic wand? Oh, there's something about time. I would use time more wiser. Speed of implementing solutions. Yeah. Pay everyone a big salary. Yeah. Take money off the table. Pay everyone enough so the money's not an issue. All right. Increase your profitability, retain your clients, execution. Yeah. Often we start out well and then either the money or the resources get tired or the money is finished and then we stop executing. Right. So that magic wand that says, let's implement, grow the business tremendously, new business ideas. Yeah. And implement them, give birth to those new business ideas. Have leadership support, cut bureaucracy, never have limited resources, increase your service offering, maybe diversify a little bit. Great ideas here. To increase income and lower the bills and other obligations, that means more profit. Yeah. Get the board to understand customer experience. Yeah, I think most CX professionals in the world would love that magic wand there. Say, please, let them just get it. Let them just get it. Digitize all of the processes. Yeah. So let us shift from this. And just before I move on, there's one that came in that packs a punch. Create a highly engaged team. So colleagues in this room, I want to say, I think our most precious resource, being people, have never been challenged like they have been challenged in the last 18 months. So what I believe has happened is, Maslow's hierarchy with the triad, all right? So let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy At the bottom of the triangle, we've got safety and security. And all of us, in terms of our really, really basic needs of being safe, of knowing that we're going to be alive tomorrow, has been challenged. So anything around self-actualization of, I'm living my purpose, I'm really growing as a human being, I'm contributing to society, we've all kind of slid down Maslow's hierarchy. So we feel very threatened as a species. All of a sudden, this little bug, that came from wherever, is threatening our existence as a species. And we have been very successful, obviously, now in terms of vaccination. But in the beginning, people didn't have an idea of what this is going to do to us as a species, whether we had even a fighting chance. We just saw lots and lots of people getting sick, and a lot of insecurity in terms of us as a human species. So I want you to look at the presentation I've prepared for you in the context of that, because I think we have much more heightened emotions. And I'm going to share with you some of the inside scoop and some of the secrets of how to create a great experience. So whether you're a leader in a bigger organization, whether you are a service manager or a manager in a medium-sized organization, or whether you're an entrepreneur today, the way in which I put together this presentation, there's something for you, and I want you to think about your business as I move through this presentation. So let me cue up my presentation, and then I'm going to share my screen. And I would be very, very happy for all of you to, as I go through this, if you've got a question, then please go ahead and pop it in the chat, and then I will stay as long as my battery lasts here. I will stay on and I'll answer some questions. I know some of you might have to run somewhere, but because I arrived slightly later than what anticipated, I would be very happy to stay on and answer some questions. So let me take you through what I have prepared for you in terms of how you can create experiences that really matter and create these moments that matter. So the biggest problem in any engagement with a brand today is the fact that, when we go to a burger joint or a McDonald's or any fast food place, the promise, the picture that you see is always very different from what is delivered. There's not many restaurants, and, maybe Kenya is different. And I've been to a couple of amazing places in Kenya where the delivery exceeded what the promise was. And that's really when we remember these things. But I think the biggest issue is that the promise is sometimes bigger than the delivery, and then one feels cheated. All right, you identify with this. All right, you've been in a situation where you felt cheated. You go, I make good money, I work hard for my money, and I've just bought something and it's not what I expected. So I want to just take you on a bit of a journey in understanding how we create these moments that matter and how we create relationships with your customers. So I want you to imagine, going into your regular coffee shop, and people would say like, hey, how did your son do in the maths exam that they were so worried about? So what do you think when you go into that place and someone comments something like that? You go, well, the last time I was here, they were listening to me, they know me, they care about me, so you keep on going back. I had an experience yesterday in the Strand where I went into a coffee shop 7:45 in the morning. It was real emergency, people, serious emergency, because I only develop my lovely personality after I've had a cup of coffee. I ran into this coffee shop 7:45. I could see they're still setting up, and I said, is there any chance that I can get a cup of coffee? And they said, no, we only open at 8. I left. I went into another coffee shop and they were still setting up. Now it's 7:50. And I go, it's an emergency. Is there any way you can make me a cup of coffee? They left everything. They rushed to the machine. They made me, and they convinced me to spend a lot more. They said, no, we make you a double shot cappuccino. It looks like a double shot cappuccino is going to really make your personality even better. So the difference between these two is the attitude and the inclination to know that if I bond and I connect and I form a relationship, then that person's going to come back. And that does not cost money. That is much more an attitudinal alignment. So the thing about most experiences is they're bland. We don't remember them because nothing happens. They're not positive, they're not negative, and our brains love contrast. All right, our brains need positive and negative, and sometimes the tension between those two to remember anything. If something's just bland, and let's say you eat a scrambled egg and there's no salt on it, it's bland. I mean, egg tastes pretty much like nothing. Your brain's going to go dump this information because there's nothing memorable vulnerable that I can do with this. It's not usable. And that's what our brain does with experiences. So the important thing is that, and I'll talk to you about the positive and the negative peaks in a moment, but the really important thing is that experiences reinforce the stories that are already in our heads. Let me quickly share one of those stories with you. I was working in a life insurance company years ago. This is maybe 15 years ago. And we did some research. And this was one of the stories that came out of that research. A client went into one of these branches and there was a dirty chair. And the client didn't comment about the service. They were just stuck on this chair was dirty and they couldn't sit down anywhere. And this is what they shared with us. This is what happened in their head. I always get the worst experience. Then they went on to, I can't make the right decision. Just look at this brand. They treat me with such disrespect. So it must be true that I'm not worthy and I'm not going to be treated with respect. So very often when you get like real anger, it's not about what the customer experienced in that moment. It's about the story in their head and what's happening. What stories are the experience reinforcing? So nobody wants to feel bad about themselves. Right? There anyone here? Amazing people. Do you want to feel bad about yourself? No, you don't. You want to feel fabulous about yourself. Okay. You want to feel like you're worthy, like you're amazing, like people respect you, like you've got influence, like you're making a difference in this world, right? So what we do when we feel really terrible about ourselves, okay, we go, listen, I'm not like that coffee shop that showed me away yesterday morning because it was inconvenient for them to make me a cup of coffee 15 minutes before they open. I will never, ever, ever go back there. My daughter was with me and she walked out and she said like, oh, how rude. I go, well, it's not really rude. It's just, it was inconvenient for them and they didn't feel like switching on the coffee machine 15 minutes early. All right. The alternative is if we don't take our money away, we get angry. All right. And we go, who's in charge here? Because I don't want to feel bad about myself. And the most powerful way that I can feel another emotion is by getting angry. Anger is the most powerful emotion. Folks, a few years back, I realized I've got some anger issues. Now, for you people that have hung out with me and spent time with me, I'm really a nice person, but I've got underlying anger issues. And the reason why I have anger issues is obviously I don't process stuff in the moment, but also anger makes you feel less weak. Anger makes you feel less afraid. So when you see an angry customer, I read your comments earlier on that board. When you see an angry customer, you always need to understand that there's fear sitting behind that anger, and you should respond to the fear, not to the anger. All right, you get that? If you don't remember anything else I say about these slides, you should respond to the fear, not the anger, because often angry people scare us and we respond to the anger. And the way we respond to that anger is by saying, I'm also going to get angry because I need power, or it's fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. And often I freeze, and freeze just sounds like silence, or fight might sound like, listen, those are our rules and we don't do that here. All right. So that I want you to understand that recipe around, if I feel terrible about myself, I might go to a place of anger because I don't want to feel terrible about myself. And I might be scared that the stories in my head and the stories outside of me are true. All right. So I'm going to share the secret now with you. The secret of creating great experiences, whether you're in a corporate or whether you are a single one-man organization. Okay. Whether you're an entrepreneur, you want to set your emotional target. That is the secret for creating great experiences. So let's say you're an entrepreneur. I'm going to quickly, let me just pick someone who's in coaching. You're an entrepreneur. You just finished your coaching program and you are now going to coach people. How do you want that person to feel? All right. So you want to choose your emotional target. Obviously, as a coach, you want them to feel safe with you. You want them to feel confident that they've made the right choice. Now I've got some emotions that I can work with. In this example I'm showing you here is I've chosen that I want my customer to feel confident and smart. I want to feel confident and smart like every day, people, for 24 hours of the day. Now, I don't feel that every day, 24 hours of the day, but I work hard at that to feel confident, to feel at peace, to feel calm. All right. So now, once you set your target, you can create that target by focusing on your own emotions. All right. The weird thing is each emotion has a frequency. So when I entered into this room today, I felt a little bit anxious and I felt a little bit guilty because I did check the time and we still managed to screw it up, and I felt really sorry. And the only way I could change my emotional state is by arriving in the room and saying, people, I love you so much. I would never, ever, ever be late on purpose. This is what I'm arriving with, but I'm changing my state because I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be here for you because I care deeply that you invited me to share this knowledge. And by doing that, I managed to change the frequency of what I was feeling. All right. So you can do this. We have the power all to do this. So what's happening is, if someone comes to me and they're angry, all right, I pick up the frequency and the mirror neurons in my brain will mirror whatever I'm seeing in front of me. All right, so that is why we get really call center agents that we've worked with. If they have an angry customer, they get scared and then they get angry and frustrated themselves. Okay, because they're responding to that emotion. But if you know this, you can choose your vibe. Okay, so let me quickly, I'm going to do a quick experiment with you. I'm just going to lift my laptop's quite warm. I'm just going to quickly lift that. I want to do a quick experiment where I'm going to show you how these mirror neurons work. Okay, I want you to imagine, can a few people flick on their cameras just so I can see you? I don't care if you're in your onesie or sitting in your t-shirt or sitting bare-chested. There we go. Okay, Anastasia, thank you so much. So I want you to do the following. I want you to imagine we have a lemon in our hand. Okay, you got a lemon in your hand. You're going to take a knife. Okay, you're going to slice that lemon, and I want you to imagine you smelling the lemon. All right, and then I want you to cut off a piece of that lemon in your mind, and I want you to take the lemon and put it in your mouth. Imagine you are tasting this lemon in your mouth. Okay, what's happening with you? Let me hear. Anastasia, what's happening with you? What's happening with your mouth? Are you salivating?
No.
You're not salivating. She's too used to doing lemons. Okay, Monica? All right, stunning. Okay, people, so that's how powerful her brain is. Okay, she doesn't have a lemon. I don't have a lemon. I'm sitting in the middle of nowhere in my car. I don't have a lemon. But that is how we trigger the mirror neurons in our brains. I was talking about lemons. She was tasting lemons. All right. So I want you to keep that in mind when we work with customers, even if they don't see our emotions. Okay. Even if they're on camera like we are now and they're not seeing our faces, those mirror neurons will respond. All right. So if I go, my vibe is calm and confident and caring, the mirror neurons will respond. All right. So if you take your customer to a place where they go, the product is amazing. I love this product. I am so smart and I made the right choice. I'm confident I made the right choice. Then you have created success. All right. And because there's so many brands out there that gets this wrong, you can stand out. You can be the brand that makes a person feel great about themselves. So whatever business you thought you were in, you are not really in that business. You're in the business of making people feel great about themselves. And the way you do that is by setting your emotional target. How do you want customers to feel? And then everything you're doing, you need to align it with that emotional target. So remember I said I'll talk to you about the bland. So bland, we don't remember. Our brain goes, that's not important. We're just going to dump that. In order to stand out, you want to create positive and negative peaks. And the amazing thing is you can design for that. All right, you can design positive peaks. And when a negative peak happens, you can actually make more of an impression on that customer. If they had a terrible experience with you, you can make more of an impression by taking them to a place of understanding. So you are all now in the business of making memories, and you have the power to create positive memories. You have the power to take these mental images and have these say cheese moments. So people will arrive in your world with a lot of baggage, a lot of stories, a lot of voices. Yeah. You want to take those stories and you want to set your emotional target and say, I'm going to let them feel confident, valued, cared for. Take whatever you want to associate your brand with and pick that emotional target. Then you're going to give off that vibe. And if you've got people working in your team, you want to teach them how to give off that vibe. But in order for them to know the vibe, you've got to decide what those emotions are. You've got to decide what your target's going to be. And then your people can help you create those say cheese moments where you make an impression on someone and they'll remember that for a long time. And what will happen is you will become the new standard because they will start comparing you and others with you and say, the others are not nearly as good as you. And that's really what you want. You're doing the job in any case. All right. You're doing the job in any case. You might as well do it with an amazing vibe. And then create a bubble around yourself to protect that vibe, because we do get tired. All right. We do get tired from time to time. And we've got to say, listen, this is what I'm going to allow in my bubble. And this is what I'm not going to allow in my bubble. I've said to a few people in the last few weeks, I only allow positivity around me. And if you come with something and I want to help you, let me help you, because negativity drags us all down. If someone comes in with a vibe that's not as positive, I want to help them get their vibe right. And if they don't want to, then they must take their vibe somewhere else. All right, because unfortunately, some of these nasty vibes, they are contagious. All right, the amazing thing about this vibe, people, is if you inspire one person, they will take that vibe with them and they will go and influence and inspire the people around them. And that is how we create an incredibly happy world. All right. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. Caroline, I know that was incredibly quick, but I cannot believe I got through that presentation so quickly. All right. So let me take some questions. I haven't been looking at the chats.
Yeah, thank you, Chantel. It's unbelievable that you're in your car, you're doing this. We had South African time and Kenyan time all crossed. Dear ones, we are 1 hour ahead of them. They're 1 hour behind us. But here is Chantel and her love for us, sitting in her car, talking to us about mirror neurons. That is my take home for today. Mirror neurons, people. We give off this vibe. It's just, we can create happiness in this world. I think that's my take home for this quarter, because we are starting October now, and October is what heralds in the last quarter. And just to have people say cheese and create that. So any questions, any comments? I love the simplicity of the slide, Chantel. We are used to PowerPoints with a lot of technical jargon, and it was just so simple for me. I have loved that. Let's take any questions for Chantel, people. Allow us to go beyond 2 o'clock, because we are all here. I can see we are still on the call. Let's see who has a question or two or a comment. Over to you. You can unmute. Yes, Paul Juguna, I see you. Please talk to us, Paul. As Paul is coming in, Joe Orlando says, yes, some experiences really create that lasting, never ever again feeling. And we lose customers without noticing it. Each time it may seem like just one customer is lost, but the damage is done. Any comment on that, Chantel, from Joe?
Well, I think we've often worked with brands that come to us and say, Chantel, you've got to come and help us. We've got a brand crisis. And I go, okay, tell me, is it on Facebook? Where's the brand crisis happening? And it's usually, one angry customer who's like really complaining on social media, who's dragging the brand down. And kind of recently came to us was an airline. And I said, there was one passenger, she even started a Facebook group against this brand where she called them names and she listed every time they had a problem with the plane. And I said to the CEO, I know this is frightening. I know you're scared, but don't lose track of the happy ones. Sometimes we focus so on the complaining ones and the negative ones that we lose track of the happy ones. And I said to him, for every flight that you take, there's probably 200 passengers, of which 2 are unhappy. And the rest, 198, they're happy. Thank your happy customers. Give them gratitude, the ones that keep on supporting you. And sometimes don't get distracted by the negative ones and the ones that are really, really angry. And with that, I'm not saying you can deliver bad service. I'm just saying things are going to go wrong. Fix the things at root cause, but don't let your entire company and all of your teams get distracted by the negativity of an angry customer. Focus also on the fact that, you have many customers that are happy. You have many customers that love you, and start saying thank you to those in an authentic manner. That's going to change your company. It's going to change your people's attitudes.
Absolutely. And I think in the very same vein as you're speaking, Chantel, it's the same thing we need to do with our people. We need to focus on catching them doing the right thing. Very often we want to catch them doing the wrong thing, or service did not go well. We need to catch them doing the right thing and celebrate all these service moments that have gone so well. That when 1 or 2 things don't go so well, we can look at them as areas for development, but still just really celebrate, the buzz and the good moments and the good vibes coming from our people. Any other questions or comments on the chat or to Chantel? you can unmute or ask. Let me scan the room and see anything we want to ask or comment. In the meantime, Chantel, please tell us about your Brand Warrior program. We want to hear about it and what you're doing and what you want to offer us this October 1st. Please tell us something about that.
Amazing. So, Caroline, we have over the last 7-8 years, we've taken more than 1,000 people through the Brand Warrior program, where we engage with people over a 12-week period and we teach them how to transform their brand into a brand that's loved. We work with people's own personal vision, connect them with themselves, connect them with their teams. We help them come up with this essence, this emotional target for their brand, and then to design the journey so that they can go and live that brand. So we will be in early next year, we will be starting a Brand Warrior program specifically for entrepreneurs. So if you wanna hear more about that, I think it would be lovely for you just to share your email address with us. We'll put you on that early list of people as soon as we make that program available. I'm going to drop the email address into the chat where you can mail if you want to be in that early group that we share that with. And then if you want to get a taster, and I really want to extend this invitation to all of you, there's 2 opportunities for you to really learn more. We have, and I'm going to just drop that, I'm just grabbing that link to drop that into the chat. We have on CX Day next week, Tuesday, we are running 8 hours of 8 different workshops that you can hop into. We will be taking a kind of a whirlwind tour around, employee engagement topics, self-development, and I'm going to put the whole agenda for you in the chat. But please hop onto those workshops. You can choose any one of those 8 workshops. Just register and we will put that time slot in your the 8-hour time slot in your calendar, and you can hop in. It's like one of those hop in, hop off buses. And for every workshop that you attend on CX Day, we will give you a certificate, which I think is really cool. I'm really glad my team got that one right, so that we can give you a certificate. Let me just see. I'm struggling to post that.
Yeah, Kenyans, we love papers. We love certificates. And so we will most definitely hop onto the programs that you are running. I have a lot of people in the inbox asking for that presentation. Would you be so kind as to share it with us so that we
Absolutely.
can send it over to the team?
What I will do, as soon as I get to my destination and I get to plug in my laptop, I will generate a PDF copy of that, as well as the questions and answers we dealt with earlier, and I'll pop that across to your team, Caroline, so that you can send that out. Quickly get my phone. There is another opportunity. Caroline, I kind of feel like I want to make up for the fact that I made you wait for me. There is an amazing symposium, a CX symposium happening under the banner of the Michigan State University, and I'm just going to grab that link, and then I'm very, very happy. It is a free symposium. You will get access to some of the greatest minds in sharing case studies and just great content. So I'm going to drop that in the chat and go and register for that free symposium. It is happening in the American time zone, which is quite cool because that means after your work day, you can hop onto it. And I'm just going to confirm the date for you. I think it's the 14th of October. Yes, I'm right. It's the 14th of October, and I've dropped the link in the chat. And Caroline, if you're going to send out a mail afterwards, I will package an email for you with these opportunities, great opportunities to, come and hang with the Brand Love team next Tuesday. And then at the Michigan State University, it's called Customer Experience Management 360. And there's going to be, I'll share a bit of that agenda with you as well, but great opportunities in the next 2 weeks to up your own knowledge, build up your own skills. And you know what, colleagues, not only do we learn at these events, but I've made the most amazing friends of people that I've never seen in my life, that I've just met at these conferences, and the world has become like really small. We can just hop on a Zoom, and I've met some of the most fascinating people in the last 18 months that before I would have been too shy to just mail someone. I recently had a podcast interview with a woman by the name of Dr. Janina Scarlett, and she wrote an amazing book. She does the superhero therapy. She was born in the time just before that. She was 3 years old when Chernobyl exploded, and she got some serious radiation issues, and she grew up thinking there was just something wrong with her. And she wrote a book, and I reached out to her and I said, do you want to be on my podcast? And she said yes. Like for 3 days, I just went like, she said yes, you know, and all of a sudden we're meeting these amazing people, and all we need to do is get over ourselves and get over our own fear and just have the confidence and the courage to ask. So I invite you, go and register for these things. You're going to meet some amazing people, and I want to challenge you and say, if you meet someone amazing, make another coffee date with them on Zoom so that you can learn and exchange value.
All right. And we shall take that as your parting shot, Chantel, your challenge to us to meet amazing people, to be courageous, to just ask, to throw ourselves into all these goodies that are raining on us in the chat, in the form of capacity development opportunities. Everybody here, please, this is the reason why you came here this afternoon, to listen to the opportunities that are out here for us to really just empower ourselves, pour into ourselves, develop ourselves, think about the customer, think about ourselves, and just see how to grow and grow and grow. And with that, I want to thank you, Chantel, so much for coming and for being part of this launch of Customer Service Week. Please join our WhatsApp broadcast, all of you, so that we can share with you all these presentations, links, and so on. We find that really easy to do instead of sending out emails. So the link is on the chat. Please join in. And most importantly, this is brought to you by Springboard Capital. We lend you money. There are only two things you need in life: food and money. If you need money, please come to us. We are happy to lend you money. We are friendly, as you can see. We love our customers. And so please come to us and we'll give you financial advisory and lend you money. So with that, we want to call Customer Service Week officially launched from this end. Chantel, please reach your destination and know that you're truly loved and that you've made a difference in our lives this afternoon. And we so thank you for that. Everybody else on this page, may your October be full of fun, may it be fulfilled, may it be full of favor, may it be fruitful, and all the F's you can ever imagine. That's what we wish for you this afternoon. So we wish to say to you bye-bye and have a beautiful afternoon ahead. Thank you for coming. See you all.